Facebook is handing over 3,000 Russia-linked ads to Congress. The social network's CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, announced the decision over Facebook Live yesterday, Thursday. Joining us now to discuss is Mari Smith, Facebook marketing expert. Mari, great to have you here. During the announcement, Zuckerberg also outlined these ways that the company is working to protect the integrity of future elections. So you, based on your experience working with this platform, is this plan enough to really restore that confidence that they're looking for?
I sure hope so, Brad. Yeah, so what was announced yesterday is that Facebook is going to be making it much more obvious who is placing these political ads. And even so, more than that, which I'm quite happy about, is you can go to any political parties or politician's Facebook page in the future, and you can actually see a list of ads that they are placing. And who to what audience. So that's heartening to hear. I hope that will definitely make a difference. Yes.
Mari, I do want to say that right now, the disclosure of these ads, though, from Facebook, do you think this, in some way, shape, or form, is really them trying to stave off the government and perhaps coming in and regulating how the ads are put up on their platform?
You know, Corey, I love that you're going with this angle. I was watching your segment earlier today. I actually do. Facebook's funny because over the years, they tend to do reactive PR, right? They don't always do proactive PR. Something happens, something goes down, and they're like quickly fixing it and patching it up. And all due respect, I mean, I do think that Zuck did a pretty good job yesterday in listing out those 9 different, actions that they're taking. I do think that there is definitely some fear of the government interfering even more, not interfering, but calling the shots for the future and telling Facebook what they can and can't do. But it seems like they're being very compliant now, but it really does feel like a lot of it is reactive. It's like, retrospective. Where was all this when we needed it, a year or 2 years ago, when, the election was definitely being impacted by what was happening with these the Facebook, even the Facebook bubble, the very nature of the way that the news feed works. I think many people don't even realize it. Every person on Facebook, every 2.01 billion people, every user sees a different version. And there's even like a filter bubble, and so something actually that I think a lot of people don't even realize, there's a little feature on Facebook ads. I do this all the time on my mobile phone or on my desktop. There's the wee down arrow, the little down arrow on the top right of the ad. You can tap that and you can actually say, why am I seeing this? You can say to Facebook, show me what are the ad targeting parameters on this ad. I do that frequently. It's very educational, but most people don't know it exists. Now, Facebook won't reveal all of why that advertiser is targeting you, but you can get a good sense and see specific parameters there. Facebook's just really having to grow up and take a lot more responsibility for being the, world's largest social network, and now really a massive disseminator of news and how that's impacting the public opinion and the users and obviously election.
Right, and so we saw earlier Donald Trump also come out against Facebook and really going after CEO Mark Zuckerberg. Here we've got the tweet up on screen. The Russia hoax continues. Now it's ads on Facebook. What about the totally biased and dishonest media coverage in favor of crooked Hillary? This all comes at a time where Facebook, in the broader environment, they are one of the leaders in marketing in terms of mobile advertising. They are, one of these 2 big players with Alphabet and Google. So really looking at Facebook going into advertising week next week, they've got to continue to sell their advertising model, continue to pick up more advertisers. How do they do this with all of these different stories and these facets hitting at once? What message do they need to convey? And do they start to lose some of that advertising dollar share as a result of this?
Well, really great points here, Brad, and I think that there's definitely a fear of that. However, there's so much business still to be had. There's something like 70 million businesses are on Facebook, and only about 5 million of them are advertisers. So Facebook's really on a mission to reach those other 65 million businesses and get them hooked on the ad products. Also, what I've really noticed is this past year here is that Facebook has really kind of pivoted in their desire to educate the business audience on what ads are for. And Sheryl Sandberg said it on the last earnings call in July that it's all about driving business. It must drive business. And so Facebook's really on a mission to educate the business user how their products can reach with incredibly granular targeting. I mean, right down to the exact specific demographics and interests and propensity or likelihood to want to make a purchase. It's all there, but I think that really Facebook never thought that their tools would be or could be misused. And that's where it's like this sudden wake-up call. Oh my gosh, yes,
Right.
all right, we need to take some measures here, right?
Right, Mari, I think it's fascinating that people kind of say that at this point, and I just have to push back a little bit because it's great that Sheryl Sandberg came out and acknowledged this, but for Facebook to say, oh, we just never thought that it could be used for bad and not for good, is kind of, it's a little hard to believe that they never went down that path, especially when you think about a competitor in the social media space, Twitter, which is clearly long removed any sort of, advertisers that could be targeted, towards people based on any sort of discrimination or hate. They've long done away with that. So for Facebook now to all of a sudden come out and say, hey, we just never really thought that it could go that way, I find that hard to believe.
I'm with you, Corey. Yeah, it's a bit of a cop-out. I'm sorry, but it is. There's some crazy people in the world. In fact, I was just reading that Facebook, what's that, like every day they remove over 1 million fake accounts, and so that just tells you what kind of, there's these farms, if you will, out there that just crank out fake accounts and they sell likes and things like that. So yeah, Facebook really needs to step it up in terms of their security, in terms of really reviewing, particularly as we're talking about here today, is the political ads and how that can influence people's behaviors and decisions and likelihood to make a vote or not for one party or the other. And so I think it's heartening to see the tools that they're implementing now. And, Mark always talks about adding more staff, when there's any kind of like the fake news. They added 3,000 more staff earlier this year, and now they're talking about adding more staff. But those staff, they have to be educated in what's right, what's wrong, what's an integrity. Okay, yes, you've got Facebook standards, but I think even like world views and predicting what kind of crazy behaviors might come out of what countries even, right?
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. Great point, and really great to talk with you. I wish we had more time because we could talk marketing all day, and especially with the advertising landscape that we're tracking right now. That's Mari Smith, Facebook marketing expert. Thanks so much, Mari.
Oh, lovely to be with you. Thanks.